This is the video you have all been waiting for. A lot of you have asked me so many times, how do I make the words to go onto the rolling trays? The same way I'm about to show you how to add the words to the rolling trays is the same way you make words for windows, for cars, for wine glasses, for decals to go on the wall. This is the same way that you make them. So what I'm using is the Silhouette program cut on the Silhouette 3, the Silhouette Cameo 3. And this is how you start off with your design. So this is the design on the left that we'll be making. The font for high is Magnolia Sky, and the maintenance font is just a regular Arial font. First, you click the A to start typing on the screen. Oops. Click off of that and make the word as big as you want it to fit the surface. Up here is how we find the font. Here are all the different fonts that I have. And these were downloaded from defont.com. So when you download a font from defont.com, you download it and you have to close out the entire system and then open the Silhouette program back up, and that's when the new font will be on here. So I already have the font that I need, so I'm going to type it in, press enter, and this is how it'll come up. So again, I'm making the word the size that I want. And I do want to, you see how my letters are overlapping, and if I do not weld the letters together, then it's going to cut all the way through each letter instead of having everything combined. So I'm going to right click and click weld. And you only do this for cursive fonts or if the font is overlapping, if your letters are overlapping. And I right click again to group everything together because my dot was separate. That's how you do that. And then for my second word, A on the left, click on it, click on the screen, and type in maintenance, like so. And you can make it any font that you want, but I know a lot of y'all were wanting to know about the design that I had on my previous video. But like I said, the font that I used was Arial, just that first font. And I believe I made it bold. Click the B for bold. It kind of looks bold right there. And then I'm hitting left click to move it around. And these boxes, how you change it. And again, I am using a Silhouette Cameo 3. I do not know how to use a Cricut. So this is how you use the Silhouette. And this is how I'm going to put it on the rolling tray. And over here, I changed the colors because I didn't know what colors I wanted to use for my tray. So I'll be using the colorful tray. And on the right side, there's like a paint palette here. And I had to click on my word first to make sure that it's highlighted. And I believe I'll be using light pink to go on my tray since it's colorful. So this is how you change the colors. And actually, when you cut it out, it's not gonna cut out this color. It's just, I'm just getting an idea of what color I want to use. So you have to insert what color vinyl you want for it to come out this color. So the entire tray will be pink letters. So I'm not going to overlap this because I like I said, it's going in the same color. And how I got the marijuana plants, I went online and I downloaded and saved marijuana leaf. I believe I googled weed SVG, and it comes up in the Google Images. So I saved it to my desktop and then drag it here. I'm making it smaller so it'll be easier for me to trace. Making it smaller. And again, on the right side, there's this image. Looks like a little butterfly or something. Click on that. That is the trace panel. Select the trace button. Trace the image. And it's going to light up like that. Usually if the image is in a different color, like if it was in red or pink, it'll be hard to trace it. Or if it was in different colors or something like that. And it looks kind of, well, let me trace it. Okay, well, it came out right. So yes, let me show you that again. Select trace area. You have to make sure you cover the entire image like that. Hit trace and move it. And once you do that, you no longer need that solid image. So this is how it'll come out. And these are the cut lines. So if it's not showing these red lines around it, then you didn't do it correctly and it's not going to cut. It has to have those lines for it to cut correctly. And I'm going to highlight both of those. You don't have to change the colors on the screen. I just like to get an idea of what my design will look like. And I moved it up with the right click. And here, this is how you rotate the image. But you do not have to, you can rotate an image on your own once you cut it out. Change it in any direction that you want. And I'm just moving this so I can put this here. And that is how it will look. So the vinyl, the name of the vinyl I'll be using is 651 Oracle vinyl, purchased from uscutter.com. This is permanent vinyl, the same vinyl you can put on the walls, windows, wine glasses, smooth hard surfaces. This is the same way, the same material that you use. Okay, I believe that's it for this design. Let's see. And the way we're doing this, you do not have to flip it. If this image was going on a t-shirt or a cotton surface where it has to be heat pressed on or ironed on, then we will flip it, right click, flip horizontally, because that's when it'll be cut out face down. But since it's going on the surface face up, we're going to cut it out just like this using the 651 permanent vinyl. And I'm going to show you now how we do that. And then I'll come back and show you another design to go on maybe a wine glass or even another rolling tray. So stay. Here is the Silhouette Cameo 3, the machine that I will be cutting on. And I am using a Cricut cutting mat. I apologize, it's dirty, but it can be used for a very long time until it's worn out. This is my 651 vinyl, and this is how the back looks. So you do cut it face up like so. Now I'm going to line it on my cutting mat. And you don't have to lay the whole sheet on there. You can cut off just what you'll be using, but I like to just lay it on there and then cut off the rest of it once I'm done. So you have to make sure it's from corner to corner. And you line it up with the arrow on the far left of the machine. And you're going to click load like that. And on my computer, I am using a MacBook. And I'll try to find what you can use when you're using the Silhouette, what type of laptop you can use. I've been using a MacBook and HP. You just download the Silhouette program from silhouetteamerica.com, and it'll go on your laptop for free. So again, with my design, you have to make sure that it is between the cutting lines. So there's a red line here at the top, red line on the side, and you have to highlight the entire thing from left all the way down to make sure everything moves. If not, you'll be moving a piece at a time and it's not going to come out right. In the top right, you click the send button to send it to the machine. And the settings that I have on that's working for my system, I have vinyl, metallic vinyl, which is not metallic, but I didn't see an option for adhesive. So that, I have the cut here on 1. The speed is on 5, but I'll put it on 7. And the force is on 11, but I'm going to move it up to 13. And the passes is 1. Passes is how many times it'll cut over the design. I only needed to cut over the design 1 time because the material is thin. If I was using glitter, then I'd do 2 passes. So once that is set up, click the send button, and it went to the machine. And it's clicking to get the needle settings correct, and then it's gonna start its cut. So it's cutting out exactly what I have on the screen. That just took about 2 minutes to cut. Once it's completed, it says job complete, you click the unload button. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but there the design is. Removing it from the mat. And I'm going to cut where I see the design. To save the rest of this for another project. And it stopped here. And I can use this scrap piece that I'm cutting off. I can use that for the leaves to go on the lighter jar and ashtray. Now I'll show you how I'll weed this out. This is my tray that I'll be using, and you can view in one of my previous videos, I believe with the glitter rolling tray tutorial, I showed you how I spray paint multicolors. So you can go back and refer to that video if you want to see how I did this. And as you can see, it is an oval tray. I know a lot of you probably have a hard time finding the square or rectangle trays at Dollar Tree. A lot of people don't know that you can also use these. They're about the same measurements as the square tray. You can use either or. So that's the tray, and here's my design. And weeding it out, I will start from corner to corner. Sometimes your letters may have not cut correctly, and it'll come up some, so you just peel it really slow, the way that I'm doing it, to make sure nothing lifts up. And you have to weed out the insides of the letters. And that's how you do that. To get it off of the paper backing, we'll use transfer tape. And this transfer tape was purchased from US Cutter as well. I'm actually out of it. I almost need more. And I will cut a big enough piece to cover the surface. So actually, I don't want to cut a bigger piece. I can use this So I'm just going to cut this bottom part off so I can just apply it separately instead of cutting off another piece of tape. I don't remember the name. This tape is so old, I don't remember the name of it. So when I purchase some new tape, I'll definitely tell you what kind it is in the upcoming video. So you lay the tape on there, pull it up. And hopefully they do still sell this tape, because the other transfer tapes do not work this easy. And I did make my design a little bit too big. Okay, and I'm just laying it on here. I did not seal the spray paint first. I actually spray painted this probably a month ago. Just never did anything with it. So if you lay a design on a tray right after spray painting, just give it a while to make sure that it's all the way dry. Because if not, when you put this transfer tape on there, your design will come up along with the spray paint, and you'll have to do it all over again. So you just rub it on there to make sure it's sticking. And once we get the entire design onto the tray, eventually, and it does have bubbles in it, but we can pop the bubbles with our X-Acto knife. But they won't show anyway once you lay the epoxy on there. But I'm not showing the sealing of the epoxy in the video because you can see that in the previous video. I'm just showing y'all how to do the letters. I think I messed that one up. Okay. Just showing y'all how to put the design on the tray, how to cut it out. First one. And maintenance. I was going to try to find a smaller piece of tape to put. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to cut a smaller piece of tape for the maintenance because I don't want to mess with the design that's already on there. And if you don't have a machine or can't afford it right now, you can also purchase stickers from Walmart or Hobby Lobby or any craft store that sells stickers. Because the machine is expensive. And now they have the Cameo 4. I'm sure it does the same as the 3, but I heard it's a lot faster. But if you can't afford it right now and you really want to make rolling trays, you can use stickers. Purchase from Walmart or a craft store. And apply them the same way and just seal them with the epoxy. So here is the tray design. And yes, it does have bubbles, but like I said, once you lay that epoxy on there, it's not going to show. Or you can pop the bubbles or use a heat gun. I know a lot of people were saying something about a heat gun. That's how that looks. The tray is metal. The whole tray was silver before I spray painted it. And no, I do not do anything to the back. This is how the back looks. Nothing done to the back. And I'll go ahead and show y'all my lighter jar and ashtray to match this. Okay, you guys, so here is the finished product. I have my ashtray, jar, and lighter, and it has not been sealed yet. As you can see, I just laid the vinyl on. I have not sealed it. I'll be sealing it with my amazing cast resin. I'll do that tomorrow, so it'll be ready to sell in about 2 days to make sure it's completely dry. This is my ashtray, and this is actually a tea light candle holder. I'll be putting epoxy in that as well. My lighter and jar. The paint on all 3 of these items were sealed with Mod Podge from Hobby Lobby. This is what I use. And then on those 2 items, the jar and lighter, I'm going to use triple thick to seal it. And I'll be using the amazing cast on that, like I just said. And it says it takes about 24 hours to dry, but I'll give it about 2 days before I put it up for sale. And that's how that looks. And a lot of you have been asking, how much do I charge for this? I believe I went from $25 to $40, and it really depends on how much work you put into the product. People will pay for what they want, as long as it's not exaggerated. So that is it. So be sure to subscribe if you have not already. Please subscribe to the channel. Comment below if you have any other questions. I'm not sure if I moved too fast in the beginning, but if you have any questions, just please comment below. And don't forget to like, thumbs up the video, and subscribe. Thank you.